Now, why should our customers specifically be using your products, the Whelen products, and how are you going the extra mile for them?
Basically, we have taken the lead in a lot of technologies over the years. Yes, when you do that sort of thing, you're going to have problems. We have had problems in the past, but we are known for one thing, that if we do have a problem, number one, we admit it. Number two, we find the solution, not at our own pace, but we speed that up very quickly. We take care of that problem immediately and get it put on the back burner, so to speak, or make it disappear. But we do that. And by doing that, we also find improved product. It comes out that way. It just appears. We take care of the problems. Why didn't we do that to start with? But at any rate, that's where we're at. And that's why we feel that our customers demand the Whelen product line, because we have many people across the United States that are available in our distribution end of it, in our outside sales reps who call on your customer as well as our customer, the end user, and they pay very close attention to those people. And that makes them want to buy our stuff, or our products, so to speak. Not stuff, it's product.
What are the biggest problems you run up against when you're designing new products specifically for this industry?
Basically, the EMS industry is controlled by the federal government KKK specification.
Correct.
That in itself is a tremendous specification. I think it's helped the EMS industry over the years from various standpoints, not just the lighting standpoint, but it refers back to SAE standards. Those standards require that a particular amount of light output has to be there. So it's taking into consideration all of those standards, FMVSS for instance, the SAE standards. So it's not just one standard you have to meet. There's several standards that you have to take into consideration when designing a product. So although it may sound like, well, geez, you can just throw this thing together and you've got it, that's not quite where it's at. So in our R&D area and development area, it takes us quite some time to bring a product to fruition. And sometimes that's not easy. Sometimes it is fairly easy, but certainly not without a tremendous amount of frustration.
Now, do the manufacturers actually have any say in setting those standards, the lighting manufacturers? Do y'all get into that at all?
No, not really. Okay. Not really. That's predetermined, although in the past probably 3 or 4 years, there has been a little more dialogue between the government people of KKK and the manufacturers, not just lighting, but all aspects. So there has been dialogue, as I said there, which certainly helps in the design. And there's some give and take, so to speak. Okay.
Now, if you could explain for our viewers the difference in the various types of lighting. I know we always hear these candle power and lumens and all sorts of other nomenclature out there. What does that mean in the real world, and is one better than the other?
Basically, it's a very confusing issue for your customer as well as our customers, and in a good many cases there are people working within our own company that do not understand all that.
Sure.
That's very important in when designing a product, certainly, but it's mostly from the engineering standpoint. It's not really something that we as salespeople or our outside salespeople discuss on a daily basis, no. Basically, the customer looks at a light and says, that is really bright, or no, that's not bright, or from this angle, you can't hardly see anything. Mm-hmm. That has nothing to do with candle power or lumens, so to speak. Mm-hmm. That is what you do with the amount of light available to you through reflection, reflectors, lenses. A lot of people look at a lens and don't realize that you can take a light beam very narrow and actually spread that thing out very wide. So we're kind of skirting that issue, so to speak, and I admit that because I don't want to confuse your customers and our customers, and they say, well, how much candle power does this thing have? Right. It's kind of irrelevant.
Sure.
Okay.
Now, as far as the end users, the folks out in the field who have to change lights and work on these on a daily basis, what are you doing with them in mind to make it easier?
Well, that's a good, interesting question too, and I think we're one of the few companies, and we've accelerated this program over the past 3 or 4 years. John Olson, the president of our company, recognized the fact that information to all parties concerned was most important. And there was a very, very large void in that area. So we have taken 2 young gentlemen with engineering backgrounds, and we've made them into training engineers, so to speak. Now, what they did, their main job function is to go out and train our master distributors that do install work, as well as salespeople. Now we've come to the point and are instituting a program that if you as a manufacturer feel that your people, whether it be engineering, whether it be manufacturing people, need training on how to install our product or better understand our products, we are willing to bring one of those people in at your convenience at a set time to educate your people. And if you're involved, or if your management wants to be involved, then the more the better. Mm-hmm. Our main focus, again, is to educate everybody involved with our products, mm-hmm, to know how our products work and to some extent why we do some of the things that we do.